I have the Aadhaar card. If he has any evidence, he has to put it to me. That what is that evidence with him to show that I was not born on such and such day? Because it is he who suspects me.
Suppose they include from a different country, from neighboring countries, they come to India. When they are working in India, they are staying in India. Somebody is working poor fellow as a rickshaw puller, somebody working as a laborer on a construction site. If you issue a Aadhaar card to him, so that you avail the benefit of a subsidized ration.
Mr. Sibal, it all depends on the political gradient. The one political party which is stronger takes all the dead voters and they are voted in their favor.
You are telling me the reality which I already know.
We don't judge in vacuum.
Can we paralyze any?
No, but this is the paralysis of the entire election.
Because on facts, you see, the facts have demonstrated completely what you are arguing.
It's the exercise of power that we are dealing with, Malaz. I'm not talking about.
Ultimately, let us take Bihar as one of the pilot project or illustrative basis. Initially, projection before us was that crores of people are being deprived of. We were also very apprehensive. That's why we continue to issue directions from one after the other. We know that because of some of the directions were quite effective and those really helped a lot. But eventually what happened? The dead were not disputed. Those who have migrated were not disputed. 22 lakh something, 8 lakh something. And finally, hardly 3 lakh 37.
There are thousands who have disputed. Now, what can I say to your losses? Let's leave this out, Malaz. I didn't want go into all that. Really.
Well, data and graphs were presented on from your side. In fact, if I recollect, Mr. Yadav presented charts which showed in 2014-15 the population and the electoral roll was over 100%.
Yes, true.
So does it not
so therefore, Malaz,
require a responsible ECI to go into a special intensive revision?
I think we are on two different Malaz, quite
now,
frankly.
In this situation, if the ECI undertakes an aggressive intensive revision, where the deletions, again, from the same chart, appears to be to a large extent. There were some deletions, but these deletions has not resulted in any response from the individual elector concerned. We don't find that degree of impact on the ground level. You are saying that is because maybe of ignorance or lack of wherewithal, etc. We've continuously sought to flag those exercises by weaponizing district legal services authorities, other authorities, requesting repeatedly the political parties to actively participate in this process.
Many voters on the polling day have gone and found their names not deleted. Where do we go after that? Which elector will then say, I'll file an appeal? But anyway, Malaz, I'm moving away. Let's not move away from the constitutional issue that I wish to raise, Malaz. All I'm saying is that if the BLO suspects anything, Malaz, I have the Aadhaar card. If he has any evidence, he has to put it to me. That what is that evidence with him to show that I was not born on such and such day? Because it is he who suspects me. It is he who suspects me that I was not born, but he must have something in his mind to suspect.
Well, Aadhaar card is creation of a statute.
Yes.
To the extent that statute acknowledge the benefits or the right or the privilege based upon an Aadhaar card, nobody can dispute that. After all, Aadhaar card is prepared and issued for a particular object under a particular statute.
Correct.
There can't be any dispute there.
That's right.
But only because for the purpose of availing the benefit of certain social welfare schemes, a person has got an Aadhaar card. Let us be very practical.
Yeah, no, fine. I appreciate what my lord is saying.
Let us take it like this, that there are persons, suppose they include from a different country, from neighboring countries, they come to India. When they are working in India, they are staying in India, somebody is working poor fellow as a rickshaw puller, somebody working as a laborer on a construction site. If you issue an Aadhaar card to him, so that you avail the benefit of a subsidized ration for the children or for any benefit, That's something a part of our constitutional ethos. That is our constitutional morality that we must provide. But it does it mean that because he has been given this benefit, he must now be made a voter also?
True, Malaj, not, I don't dispute that.
That is what exactly we are saying. If there are instances where a person is a bona fide resident, a citizen of India, if he has been excluded, we have been eagerly, desperately looking for those instances so that we could rectify their procedural error.
But if he goes on the voting day and he finds that he's not, what will he do after that?
On that day, if we find, yes, we understand that part, but
What do we do? But anyway, Malaj, what my lord is saying is right. But that may be true of some border state. It can't be true of Kerala. It can't be true of Bihar.
you see, sometimes we should give full credit to media also for one thing, that for Bihar SIR, every day there were media reports. So, if any person sitting in the remotest area were aware that something is going, something is happening, some voter list is being prepared, new voter list is coming out, objections are being invited. In that entire process, can somebody say that I was completely aloof, I am not aware what has happened?
Well, I'm not saying that. I think that it is not my case that the election commission has no power. I am only on the processes, Malaj. First, I said that the process should be inclusive. That's my first point. Any attempt to shift the burden to the elector to do something to prove a fact is inconsistent with our constitutional culture right from the beginning, before independence. Right? This is, your lordship said, certainly if there are more than 100% voters, you have nowadays softwares which will exclude all that. You don't have to do all this. If there are duplicate voters, you can have a software that exclude duplicate voters. You don't have to do all this. You don't have to give the power like this to people. Because ultimately, BLOs are who? They are teachers. They are teachers, mothers, they are recruited.
Mr. Sibal, software is also, we see, again we have to see the hub of the voters. The hub of the voters is rural areas. Do you think that softwares will work there to identify?
No, from the voters list.
Very
Not of
close to
that.
ground realities also.
I'm talking of the voters list, Malaj, not only the software. If there are duplicates, the software will show that there are duplicates.
Duplicates, yes, but not dead persons.
I'm not on dead person, Malaj. That somebody,
Yes, we
Malaj,
follow.
in a Malaj, I have conducted elections, I have lost and I have won. But Malaj, what happens when there are a dead person?
You are fortunate
My-
to get us from an urban area.
That's true. Now, Malaj, what happens in my street? If in a particular street, I'll have my worker, the other party will have their worker. They will both know who is dead.
And they've divided
Right.
50-50.
They
You are
will both know
absolutely
who
right.
is dead, Malaj.
Mr.
So they
Sibal.
will object.
You are
Mr.
absolutely
Sibal,
right.
it is our person. It is
The
our
political
experience
agent, the
also.
political worker, they know very well that who is dead and who is alive, and if he is alive, where he has gone,
Correct.
they know everything.
Therefore, that information will be given
It
to
all,
the BLO.
Mr. Sibal, it all depends on the political gradient. The one political party which is stronger
Yes.
takes all the dead voters and they are voted in their
And
favor.
you are telling me the reality which
Then
I already
that
know,
is,
Malaj.
we don't judge in vacuum.
That's right.
That's
That's
the
exactly
reality.
the point, Malaj.
That is why the dead voters need to be weeded out.
Correct. Absolutely right. And that process,
Otherwise, it is not party A or party B.
correct.
It is which is the power gradient.
Correct.
If the power gradient is for party A, all the dead voters vote for party
Yes,
A.
that
Correct.
name is like.
And if the power gradient is for party B, Malaj,
Yes,
then
the
all
party
in
B
that
gets all the
street,
voters.
those who are against party B will not also go and vote. That also happens. Malaj. Some are not allowed to vote, but we are on law. We are not on what's happening on the ground. So my second submission is, now your lordships comes to, Malaj, kindly have a look at section 16 of the 1950 Act. And Malaj, what my lord is putting to me, this whole enumeration procedure, and I've left that to Mr. Bhushan, he will show you that in Assam, they are following exactly what we are saying. Exactly that.
That SIR for Assam
Is
has
it?
come after this general SIR for other states, just come about 2 weeks ago.
Exactly what we are saying.
So, Bhushan, have you placed on record the notification of Assam?
I've just got it, I've got
Whereas
copies.
the whole SIR procedure is what
Your
we are saying. No
argument is on
enumeration
some
form.
document, it must be on record. We don't know what are the parameters of Assam SIR.
He'll argue, tell your lordships that. See section 16.
Assam has its own, of course, when the Assam issue comes, because I came across a lot of things when I was writing the CB judgment for 6A, I recollect. So Assam has its own uniqueness, there are different kind of challenges
There is no difference between the other states and Assam. So on citizenship, for example, my lord, the Assam SIR says something very significant. It says, if your lordship just takes that, there is a section called D voters. That is
Doubtful voters.
on the basis of citizenship. It says at page 4 of this, I've just handed over, my lord. Your lordship may take a look at that. I've just handed over copy.
No, but has anybody challenged something in Assam?
No. I'm pointing out that throughout, the Election Commission has always said that, look, it is not the job of the Election Commission to give a determination of citizenship.
Correct.
So, if your lordship now sees D voter, the details
File
of
an
the
affidavit
voter
also.
shall not be included in statement
Which,
one.
which page are you referring to?
4D.
Are you referring to D for Delhi, D voter?
Yes, D voters. The details of D voters shall not be included in statement one as no verification is required in their case. All related particulars such as name, age, photograph, etc. of D voters shall be carried forward to the draft electoral roll without any change. Any modification, including removal or deletion, shall be made only upon receipt of an order from a competent foreigners tribunal or an appropriate.
Yes, Mr. Bhushan, there is a background behind this.
Yes.
I think Assam is the only state where you have these foreign tribunals constituted.
Yes.
If you please go through that judgment where I have ultimately in the final direction, I have said that identification purposes, all the 3-4 statutes shall be read as complementary to each other and the determination will take place.
Yes.
So probably it is only to protect the legal rights of those persons against whom there is no order by the tribunal.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
That's right. So therefore, the issue is whether the election commission officers on their own can determine somebody's citizenship without any order from a
We're coming to that.
tribunal or a court
That's section 16.
of India.
That is probably only to avoid overlapping of jurisdiction.
No. Kindly see 16. If you're
Tribunals are constituted under the special statutes.
Maybe, Lord, but every case may not have been referred to the tribunal. Now the election commission is saying, if you find somebody whose citizenship is doubtful,
he has to report it to the central government.
foreigners tribunal.
Because that is the obligation under the statute.
No, but here the central government, Mullah.
That is an obligation in general. It is not an obligation for the purpose of voters list. Here the election commission is saying for the purpose of voters list also, election officers are not to determine that citizenship on their own.
Exactly.
They have to refer it to the foreigners tribunal or
because of the mandate in the constitution bench judgment that they can't do it.
No, there's
Because there we have laid down a mechanism under which the issues regarding complaints by anyone that he is not a citizen of India and therefore he should be deported, that complaint will have to be decided only by a quasi-judicial tribunal constituted by the court.
Mullah, just man.
the foreigners tribunal is not restricted only to Assam. It is true that they were initially constituted in Assam. After this court's judgment in that other case where the determination by foreigners, Sarbanda Sonowal, the court directed that these foreigners tribunals have to be constituted across the country. That was about 50.
The tribunals are only functional in the state of Assam.
No, I don't think
Pay
in
Form
the
7,
state of
no?
Assam, but your
Pay
lordship
Form
is
7.
right that primarily they are functioning in the state of Assam. But the point is here is that whether the foreigners tribunals are functioning in Assam or not, what the election commission itself told its officers repeatedly and now in this present SIR is that, look, you don't determine the citizenship of a person on your own. if you feel that he is doubtful, you refer it to a tribunal or a court or to the government of India. Don't do it on your own.
Because that's why
There are no standards laid down. Suppose
Right.
you say, my lord,
it is not in respect of every voter. It is only in the respect of the voters who are categorized as D voters.
but
D voters are
The
those
others are accepted
right
as
to,
citizens.
whose right with regard to citizenship has to be determined under the judgment of this court only by a tribunal. Therefore, today, if commission permits its officers to examine their right, that will amount to tinkering with the directions of the court. That's why commission is duty bound.
earlier also, for example, my lord, in the earlier, when the directives were issued for the Assam SIR in 2003, the court,
Let me just finish this point. Just let me just finish this point.
let him
Yeah,
finish.
yeah. Well, just have a quick look at section 16 of the 1950, because your lordship has to leave at 3:30. I'll just,
You are referring to 61
of the
or
50 Act, Malad, 50 Act, section 16.
60?
Representation of People's Act, section 16. A person shall be disqualified for registration, what my lord put to me, in the electoral roll, if he is not a citizen of India or he is of unsound mind. Now, my lords, who declares that he is of unsound mind? A third party through a court of law. C, if he is for the time being disqualified from voting under the provisions of any law relating to corrupt practices and other offences. Who decides that? Not the BLO. It's through another statute. Correct? So all these things, all these items are decided by orders made by others. It is nothing to do with the BLO. Now come to 19. Subject to the provisions of this part, every person who is not less than 18 and who is ordinary resident, Malads, will have the right to vote. So, Malads, as far as citizenship, unsound mind, or otherwise disqualified is concerned, these have to be decided by another authority, not by BLO. This is a complete, Malads, with the greatest respect. The BLO has no right to go into this issue. And if he finds that somebody he thinks is not a citizen, because the status of citizenship is given under the Act, under our Constitution and under the Citizenship Act. So it depends on, Malads, if you are born in India after 1950, you shall be a citizen. If you are born between 87 and 2003, if one of your parents is a citizen, you shall be a citizen. And if you are born after 2003, Malads, then if one of your parents have to be a citizen and one of them should not be an illegal immigrant. These are the only conditions on which the status is granted. So, Malads, how can the BLO decide this? So this whole question, Malads, with the greatest respect, and I'll continue tomorrow, Malads, is completely erroneous. This whole exercise is unconstitutional.
All right.
Yeah, that's on the, when he's born, 1950.
So, just for a moment, because my Lord Justice Bakshi, Justice Suryakant had asked specifically on the aspect of jurisdiction and power of ECI. I will be addressing specifically on that issue, because there are a gamut of issues before the court.
We'll hear it.
What Mr. Bhushan, on the aspect of whether ECI has jurisdiction and power under 21 and this act to conduct it in this manner, I will be addressing specifically on that, on the constitutional aspect.
Obliged.
in fact, my lord, they said very specifically in the Assam directive, they said the electoral registration officer should ensure as far as possible that only names of Indian citizens are born on the electoral rolls. But basically, it is not for the electoral registration officers
To
to
decide.
determine whether a particular person is a citizen of India or not.
Correct.
The determination is to be made by authorities vested with the responsibility under the Citizenship Act,
Exactly.
the Foreigners Act, and the Illegal Migrants Act. However, the electoral registration officer has to decide for the limited purpose of preparation of electoral roll whether a person is eligible for inclusion of his name in the electoral or
That's all,
roll or
Maharaj.
not on the ground of citizenship, as citizenship is an essential consideration. Of course, but on
He
the
can't
basis
decide.
of what? On the basis of some determination
Yeah.
by some authority.
That's the other authority, Malads. Not he can't. He doesn't have that jurisdiction. Anyway, Malads, we shall.